You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. Alexandra Hines is suing resort owner Richard Locke in the amount of $980. She says the defendant unjustly kicked her off his property. Mr. Locke claims the plaintiff defaced the grounds and he had an obligation to remove her.
In the matter of Alexandra Hines versus Richard Locke, Ms. Hines is suing Mr. Locke for a refund of the money paid to go to a nudist camp.
Yes, ma'am.
It got to be a little bit too nude for you, huh?
A little too wild for me.
A little too wild? All right, tell me what happened.
Well, my name is Alexandra Hines, and I've been a naturalist for 30 years. During the week, business week, I'm an accountant, and on my free time, I go to, I spend my time at camps.
What's a naturalist?
The naturalist is a nudist camp, and it's where the nudists go. And it's a...
So you're a weekend nudist?
I'm a weekend nudist.
Okay.
And it's when you're, as a naturalist, you are in tune with your body, you're in tune with balance, you're in tune with nature. And I go, for 10 years, I've gone to Lake Eden Resort. It's the nudist camp. Mm-hmm. And that's the environment that it's always been. That's the environment it started out as. And that's what the nudist is all about. And in recent years, it's changed. And this last summer, it was the worst.
Well, before you talk about change, because I still don't know what it was, you just said in tune with your body, in tune with balance, in tune with nature. That didn't tell me anything. So what do you mean by all that?
Well, that's what you go up there for. You get away from the city, you go up to the mountains where you're up, where the beautiful scenery, where there's fresh air, where we do meditation and yoga and Tai Chi, and you just become one with nature as a nudist. And there's no, it's not about orgies and sex, it's about becoming balanced again, with so much going on during the week and so much stress.
So it's about just kind of calming yourself down.
Absolutely.
Okay, now you say the environment has changed. Now you can tell me about the change.
In recent years, the camp has changed. It's a family-oriented camp, and
family-oriented nudist?
Coming up.
It's a nudist camp. It's not an orgy for swingers.
So it's the number of people.
Coming up.
Indicating you were a white supremacist.
Yes. I was a little confused why he moved in there to begin with, because we've never had any African Americans in our neighborhood. I was brought up in this environment. We have social club meetings there, American Aryan Association.
That's when the property damage started to happen. My car was vandalized. Someone spray painted a swastika. There was graffiti on the side of the house that said no blacks.
That said what?
It said no blacks.
No blacks?
On the side of my house, yes.
He's exercising his First Amendment right.
I mean,
you do a lot of good, you also do a lot of bad.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Alexandra Hines, who is suing Richard Locke for a refund of expenses.
With Lake Eden currently, he's bringing in a younger clientele. It kind of reminds me of my son's spring break parties. And the first instance is about 15 of us went hiking in the mountains. And of course, you're up in the mountains, you are nude. There's a lot of elements out there, and it's something you have to be very, very aware of what you're doing. And I noticed about the third stop that there were flasks of alcohol going around. And I know it was alcohol because it was passed in front of me. And then I noticed that water bottles were filled with vodka. But everybody should have their own water bottles.
But how did you know it was filled with vodka?
Because I smelt it. Because they were passing it around like they were at a party.
Okay.
A few days later, I went hiking with some of the older clientele that had been going for 10 years. And I was walking down back into the camp after hiking, and I noticed a party going off to the side in camp, where there was music, loud music, and unexcused behavior and alcohol again.
What is unexcused behavior?
Well, it's a nudist camp. It's not an orgy for swingers. If they want, and
how do you know they were swingers?
Well, because they were having an orgy.
So was the number of people?
Oh, absolutely. And numerous people, and these were all much younger.
Engaged in sexual acts.
Groping each other and falling on each other and just showing behavior that looked like pornography.
But they were not engaged in sexual
They were not
acts.
engaged in sexual activity at this point.
Okay.
I tried to talk to Richard about it, but I couldn't find him. That night I went to bed and I was exhausted from the hike. And just as I was about to lay my head down on the pillow, I started hearing more loud music and ruckus going on from another cabin. I could see he was in the middle of this party.
And the defendant was in the cabin with him.
And Richard was in the cabin with him.
So now you want him to refund you your money?
And now I want him to refund my money and that's not the only instance.
Oh, I don't need enough from you. Let me hear from him.
She's been there 10 years.
All right.
And with that 10 years, she feels like now she has the clout to tell people what they can and can't do. The place is named Lake Eden. Everyone has their own version of paradise, whether it's escaping and just being one with nature, whether it's having a good time and having some drinks. My business is finally booming. I've had about the steady amount of clientele throughout the years. New generation discovered it. Word of mouth has gone, and we now have like a 50% increase in our clientele. I've got to cater to my clientele. So when she says most of the people were partying, yes, most of the people were partying. I'm catering to most of the people.
So what are you going to do to balance the old and the new?
What I'm going to do right now, balance the old and the new, I'm just going to go with the flow is basically what I'm doing.
You're a businessman. That's why I gave it to you. You're talking about loyalty versus youth.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. On the next Supreme Justice with Judge Karen.
I don't think I've ever heard of a grown man pooping in his pants.
Thank you.
Not anybody younger than age 85, maybe.
She acts like this is a new thing. I've got an email here from last year that says that she has had complaints in the past.
You don't have to tell me that she's a pain in the butt. I already figured that out.
Yeah.
I've already figured that out. I mean, the bottom line is, when people come, they can come and go and leave when they get ready, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And do you pay a fee for the weekend, for the month, or for the day, or what?
You pay for the weeks. She paid for 2 weeks.
I paid 2 weeks, Your Honor. I have a receipt here for
And if she had paid for
$70
2
a day.
weeks and decided that she only wanted to stay a week, would you refund?
If they decide, yes, we can work out a refund, but I decided for her.
You chose to stay there until he asked you to leave, right?
Yes.
What day was it when you asked her to leave?
She left about a week early.
All right. Did you refund her any of the money from this when you asked her to leave?
I did not.
You had her to leave within the first week as opposed to the second week, and you asked her to leave because you were not satisfied with her conduct because she was causing issues with the other clientele.
That is correct.
And on your part, it's not the only nudist camp in California or in the world. I mean, find another one. You're an adult. Find another one that gives you what you want and let him have his business run the way he wants. But now, since you had her to leave and didn't wait for her to leave on her own, you need to refund her the 1/2 of the fee. So I'm going to order you to refund her $490, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $490. That's the order of the court.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $490.
I'm happy with the court's decision. I'm just sorry that Lake Eden isn't the place for you.
I'll just take my money, my business elsewhere.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Mr. Shuttlecock ran up to one of the other volunteers on stage that was transformed into a goat and started just humping it, like with his pelvic thrust.